teaching and administrative experience. She started the Icon Public School at Ahmednagar, which is now a robust senior secondary CBSE school. She conducts workshops for teacher training, spoken English, soft skills, and personality development. She has published authors of several books. She is a published author for several books on communication skill, and her latest book, Correctly Speaking, will be on Amazon this month. Fun to learn. Welcomes you, ma'am.
So my question is, as an educator, what importance do you play on sports in the curriculum? So we would love to hear your views on that, Aradhana ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sunila. First of all, and thank you, Fun to Learn, for providing this platform. It's not only sports, the whole day that you've been discussing women empowerment. I think that's a very good thing, and really needed. Because, actually what I find ironical is that it's not about India only. It's all over the world. We are 50% of world population, and we nurture the other 50%. And yet, we are talking of women empowerment sitting here today. I mean, how sad it is that have we ever talked of men empowerment? Why was there no need to talk of men empowerment? Because there is something, that I think intrinsically has gone wrong with humans, society, any society, and particularly India. It is not about, I think the women have been asking for their rights, empowerments all over the world. Why should we ask? It is ours, by birthright. So I really get very angry when we have to, sort of do these kind of seminars and talk about women empowerment, but we have to. Because overall, over a period of time, we have not woken up to this fact. Now that it has come in all over the world, and in India, I am very happy to belong to this section of society where I'm the privileged, few to be empowered. What is the state of women in our country? I mean, it's not only villages, it's towns, it's, the socioeconomic groups. It is so sad to see that, all this is happening to women, and why? One question, why? Why is it happening to women? Why are we asking for empowerment? The only reason is socio-economic deprivation. Why are we empowered? We all are empowered because we are economically independent. We do not depend on our husbands' or fathers' salaries. And that is why we sit on forums like this and we talk. Ask the persons who are not. So what is important is economic and social empowerment. Now, as far as since this section is dealing with sports, what does sports do and where does it come in? Basically, to gain any kind of socio-economic empowerment, it is an overall development of women. But sports is a very important part because it's this particular aspect in a women's life, or in as educators I'll talk about schools, which add a lot to a woman's personality. It awakens a woman. A girl, when you see your children playing games in your schools, what do you observe? On the play field, a girl is not a girl. She's a sports person. There is very little difference between a boy and a girl on the field. They are playing equally competitive. They are playing equally focused, sometimes more so. So these are the qualities that girls imbibe from schools from a young age, which stands them in good stead when they become adults. And once a woman is confident, once a woman is aware of her identity, her personality, economic independence is not far off. It is not just about earning money. It is your whole mental set of, the importance of economic social independence. Now, when we have a lot of women now coming in from a very low strata of society, you see like Hima Das, she didn't have shoes. So these kind of women, now when they're coming up, Can you imagine what Hima Das was and what she is now? What was the social status then and what it is now? So this is why we have to encourage this particular aspect. Women are challenging now gender stereotypes in almost all fields. Women, when I feel very sad because, when we talk of women, we are talking of our type of women. There are many who are not. But it's we who can now make a difference. It's no point just feeling sad. It is we women who have come out of this, who have to lend a helping hand to women who have not. And this is, I think, doubly our responsibility as educators. We hold their hand, we make them rise, and we support them in every way we can. And as schools, sports as such brings in that avenue. It sows that seed of empowerment in their young lives. And that is why it becomes important. What we actually do, as is a very young school, it's just become a senior secondary school. So I cannot really boast of sending my great teams to state or national level. But overall, as sports, as games, we just encourage equality. There is nothing like who will take part. It is a girls' game or a boys' game. So girls are playing football, girls are playing cricket, girls are playing all the games. There is no such thing. It's a boys' game or a girls' game. And similarly, I think the other way around. Like when we have a lot of cooking competitions, we have a lot of craft competitions, and I'm very proud to say that most of the prizes are won by boys. And that makes me good. Feel very happy because it is overall breaking gender stereotypes. There's nothing like what boys can do and what girls can do. Normally, sports was out of reach because people believed that women were not so physically strong. Now, even that bastion has been shattered. Women are going all over. They're climbing mountains. They're coming into the army. So gradually, it's really not the women who have to be empowered. It is a male psyche you have to deal with. Of raising actually your sons to know that women constitute half the population and that population that nurtured them. So once we do that, it's I think going to be quite easy. Now, one line: a sporty girl is an empowered woman. This, I think, sums it all, because at that level, when you get them into sports, into focused kind of games, this is not about physical thing at all. Like I think a couple of panelists have said, it's about physical. It is. It's very good for everybody to be physically active. But I think sports is more than just physical. It is changing of attitude, changing of focus, changing of mindsets of a society. And that is where I think schools come in, and very, very important for them to encourage any kind of sporting event. Competitive, yes, in the competition, it's not that the girls are competing against boys. It's not that the boys are competing, they're competing as a team. So when they do that, I think they'll soon get over this whole bias. Thank you.
Empowerment and therefore dependence. Today we are able to really sit down and discuss and have so much to say, about empowerment, because we are really not dependent on anyone. And in fact, Rachna ma'am is one example, as she's always told us about her life. And but we need to be the voice of those who cannot. So especially those in the rural areas and those who are economically so dependent, they're not able to do anything about it. So together we can really make a difference.
Yes.
And in fact, coming back to Dr. Farzana's point also, that karate and judo to be incorporated into the curriculum, into the school, this thing would really help.
It's all how we think, how we feel. That's what reflects clearly. So if you're feeling gulabi, if you're feeling pink, then it is pink in the air, and you make it sure that you are able to